They make you feel irrelevant. They make you feel stupid. They have no patience with you. You're gonna hand them your dog? I've been training dogs for over 15 years now, and one of the biggest compliments that I get from people that I work with, and even people that I just talk to, even if they never become clients, one of the biggest compliments that I get is how patient I am with them. One of the things that I always hear is, thank you so much, you are amazing. Thank you for all your help. Thank you for going the extra mile. Even if I just talk to them on the phone, that means they haven't even paid me. They haven't even actually become clients. They're just so filled with gratitude at the fact that I'm being so helpful as I'm talking to them. And so once they become clients, obviously my level of service and commitment to my client is just as good as it was when I was talking to them, if not more. Okay, and even after talking to my clients, I still help them out. Just earlier, a few hours ago, a previous client, somebody I worked with about a year ago or more, messaged me about one of her pieces of equipment that she wanted to buy. She was like, hey, I wonder where you bought this. It was a remote for an electronic collar that I helped her with. And so she was like, where did you buy this? I need to buy another one. So I immediately was like, what's wrong with the actual item that I gave you? Well, it was really nothing major. It was just some kind of wear and tear, so to speak, on one of the buttons. And she just messaged me to find out where she could buy one, to double check what kind of model it was so she'd know which one to buy. And I immediately went into service mode, even though I technically had nothing to gain from this previous client, not because there's no additional service, but rather because they moved basically across the country, right? They were in Texas, and then they moved up to New Jersey. So this is not a client that I can continue to sell other services to, so to speak. It's not like it's a client that's an hour away and I can offer refresher training. In this exchange, I literally had nothing to gain, so to speak, right? There was no financial incentive for me to go the extra mile, so to speak. But what did I do? I wanted to help her out because my commitment to her and her dog did not end when the check cleared. It didn't end when she picked up the dog. It didn't end when she moved to a different state. It simply just goes on and on and on. This is one of the red flags, in my opinion, is when that level of service is only contingent upon a pending sale, right? So my level of commitment to her continues because it's something that I decided to take on this person, this dog, as a client, and I will continue to provide as much value as I can because that's just who I am as a person. I want to continue to help. I want to continue to just add. And so why did I do that? It's simple. It's because it just feels good. It feels good to be in a service industry that I like, that I chose, where I get to help people and their dogs. So what ended up happening with this particular previous client is I contacted the company that manufactures the electronic collar that I gave her. Okay, and I just sent a couple of emails and we were able to get that particular remote replaced. And here's the other thing. This is the domino effect of what I'm talking about, of going the extra mile. When I contacted the manufacturer and I have a relationship. I've been ordering units from them for a couple of years minimum, probably more like 3 years now. So I've been a big fan of this particular company because I like their products, so I always order their equipment so that I can give to my clients. But I also like how responsive they are. Their customer service is excellent. The common protocol would have been for them to send me a form, for me to fill out the form, for me to send them a picture of the unit that was damaged and all of that. We could have certainly done that, and that would have been the protocol to get that remote replaced. But because I've been working with them for years, I've been ordering equipment from there for years, and I've actually been ordering through the same person that I emailed. So it's one person I'm talking to that I've been talking to for years. Again, ordering equipment from that company through this person. And because I've never taken advantage of them. I've never tried to scam them on additional equipment. I've never done that. It's very honest dealing. I place an order, they give me the order. If I need more, I place a larger order, and I just do this back and forth. So we have a great working relationship. So what they did is they made this simple and seamless. They were like, no problem. What's their address? We'll replace it immediately. Which model was it? It's a 425X. Okay, we will send them the replacement immediately. That's how fast it was. That's how pleasant the exchange was. And that's what ended up happening. So this particular client that moved from Texas to New Jersey, about a year after I worked with her, now needs help with something sort of trivial, right? She could have definitely bought the remote somewhere else. She reached out to me, so she wanted to get more information on that particular unit. I said, hold on, don't buy it yet. Let me see if we can get you a replacement. So it was nice and seamless. I offered to help. I went the extra mile. I talked to the manufacturer. We arranged for a replacement. And this was nice and smooth, a very pleasant exchange. I felt good about it because it's an opportunity for me to help out, for me to show that I still care about this person genuinely, even though there's nothing for me to gain from them financially. It was a pleasant experience on their end. They were just asking for information or for a link, and they ended up getting a replacement for their unit. It was a pleasant exchange between me and the manufacturing company that makes these units, because I got to see once again, how amazing they are with their customer service. It was just a pleasant experience for everybody involved. And this is why, when there is none of that, okay, when the niceness is contingent upon a pending sale, this is where I find a little bit of a red flag. And I'll tell you this from a dog trainer perspective, but I'm also telling you this from a consumer's perspective. And here is what I mean by that. You've probably experienced this before. If you've ever gone to any sort of professional where you needed help, you're not the authority. Maybe you went to a mechanic, you went to somebody that you needed help from. It could have been an electrician, a plumber, anything. You go to somebody who is the expert in something that you need help with, somebody that could solve your problems. If you notice that when they are pleasant right from the beginning, and you feel the genuine pleasantness of the exchange, as you're talking to them, you realize that you actually feel comfortable talking to them. You realize that when you do business with these people, more often than not, the service is pleasant. Okay, talking to them during, throughout, and even after the service has been completed is pleasant. And you just feel good about giving this person the money. It was just a nice exchange. You got your problem solved, you got to pay them, you feel good about paying them. They didn't make you feel stupid, they made you feel valuable, and it went nice and smooth. And I know you probably also had the opposite experience, where you deal with a professional, you need their help, they can solve your problem, they're in a position of authority, and then when you contact them, they just make you feel like you're irrelevant. They make you feel not very good, like almost like you're wasting their time. Have you ever felt that? I'm sure you have. I know I have, and I think it's part of the human experience. We're gonna run into people like that. What ends up happening is, if it so happens that you end up doing business with these people, there are times when, yes, it's not related to how they treated you, the service is still good. But there are a lot of times where the service just was not good enough. Or you just felt uncomfortable the entire time. Maybe they fixed your car, but you just felt so awkward about asking additional questions because every time you ask questions, it made you feel stupid. And so now they do the service, they hand you back the product, or they work on whatever you need help with, you pay them, and you still don't feel good about the exchange. Have you ever experienced that? And I'm very confident that the answer is probably yes. Now, here is where dog training is the same and a little bit different at the same time. Well, dog trainers are people. And you're going to have good people, you're going to have shitty people, and you're going to have people in the middle. When you deal with somebody who's kind of shitty, for whatever reason, maybe it's a personality, maybe they have a really crappy attitude about themselves, maybe they've had a horrible day, I don't care what it is, okay? They just have a shitty attitude. And you talk to them. As a client, you talk to them. And listen, if you're a dog trainer, pay attention to this too, because this will also give you a little bit of a wake-up call. When you deal with this dog trainer who has a crappy attitude about them, you have to realize they're not just professionals that can solve your problem or that advertise that can solve your problem. These are literally people that are going to be taking care of your dog. Okay, there's the difference. If I talk to a shitty mechanic, it's a shitty attitude, he's not a nice person. If I hand him my vehicle, I don't care if he's not a nice person. I care about is, can he fix my problem? Can he fix my engine? Can he fix whatever it is that I need help with? Okay, shitty attitude aside, yeah, it's gonna be an unpleasant exchange. I'm not gonna wanna ask him questions. It's not gonna be pleasant paying them and talking to them or following up. If I have a question 3 days later about my car, I'm not gonna wanna talk to them because of their shitty attitude. But at the end of the day, can they fix my car? If they can fix my car, at least we're over and done with. He fixed my car and hopefully I never have to talk to that guy again. But the difference with the dog trainer is when you're talking to that shitty person who tells you, yes, I can train your dog, they make you feel irrelevant, they make you feel stupid, they have no patience with you. Well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna hand them your dog? You're gonna tell them, yes, Mr. Shitty Dog Trainer with a shitty attitude, I'm gonna hand you my dog for an entire 2 weeks, 4 weeks, however long. Does that even sound like a good idea? And I'm telling you this from experience too, dealing with a lot of people like this. I've worked with people like this. I've worked for people like this. Horrible, shitty attitudes that make their clients feel like garbage. They make them feel stupid because they genuinely think you're stupid. That's the reality of it. They genuinely feel you're wasting their time. And the only time that they give you any bit of an inclination of niceness is if you pull out that checkbook. It's the moment you pull out that credit card and you go, okay, let's go ahead and do this. That's when they kind of lighten up their tone a little bit because their niceness is contingent upon how much money you're going to pay them, what you can do for them. That's not a good attitude. I've known these people. Like I said, I've worked with these people and I've worked for these people. So I know them. I've seen how they operate. They're shitty to their clients because they genuinely think they're stupid. The money comes in, they take in the dog, and you think the shitty attitude goes away? It stays there because it's who they are. So what do? I've seen it. I'm not speculating. I've seen it more than once. They give the bare minimum. They show very little patience with a dog. Like if they're shitty to you, they're going to be shitty to your dog. That's very likely what is going to happen. Okay, so forget the, oh, I hate people, but I love dogs. That's a crock of shit, because here's the thing. How could you hate people and love dogs when you can actually have a rational conversation with people? And a dog, it's a different animal, different species, different set of communication signals. What makes you think that the patience suddenly is just going to go through the roof? Okay, when I hear people say that, like, oh, I hate people, but I love animals, I've seen these people at work. Their patience for animals is about the same as their patience for people, despite what they tell you. Okay, it's about the same. If they have a short fuse for somebody asking a question, why would they not have a short fuse when a dog is not learning, when a dog is not picking up what they're putting out? What's going to happen is the person, again, I've seen it, they lack so much patience, they think the dog is stupid. If they think you're stupid, they think your dog is stupid. If your dog starts to not show a lot of progress, they'll immediately take it out on the dog. Again, guys, I've seen it time and time again. Okay, so if the trainer doesn't show a whole lot of patience when they're talking to you, it's a very strong indicator that they're likely not going to have a whole lot of patience with your dog. And if you're a dog trainer, take a really hard look in the mirror and think about that, because you might be one of these I hate people but I love dogs. And if that's how you feel and you completely disagree with me, right? If you're thinking to yourself, I fucking hate people, and when they talk to me, I have no patience for them. If you do that, but then somehow you completely change into the most loving, most patient person in the world, when their freaking dog is not picking up certain lessons after 1 week or after several days, if you suddenly change an entirely different person, genuinely, okay, you have to think about that. Is that 100% accurate? Are there maybe instances where you do lose your patience a little bit more? Do you have to talk yourself out of choking the shit out of the dog? Do you have to talk yourself out of having a session is a little bit too harsh? Do you find yourself looking around during a training session? Okay, this is not to condemn you if you're a dog trainer, but this is just to get you to look. Okay, get you to look at yourself and go, maybe the skill I need to develop is patience. And I'm telling you this because it's something that we all need to work on. Okay, there are times, and I will tell you very transparently, one of my least favorite types of dogs to work with are puppies. It is a battle. Okay, it's a battle. I love working them and I love training them. I love the age, the puppy age. But one of the things that I absolutely hate is when a puppy has issues with either crate training or potty training or both. Okay? There is nothing more challenging, nothing that will test your patience more than a puppy that has a hard time holding. Or one of the things they'll do is when you take them out to potty, they will not potty. For whatever reason, maybe they're uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable with you. They're uncomfortable with the environment. They really don't want to go out there. And they would rather go in their crate than go out there, right? And this is not with every puppy. Most puppies are not like that. But every once in a while, you're going to run into puppies like that. I know I have. And when I do, and it is challenging. It is one of the most challenging things for my patients. And I have to literally just force myself to just breathe and just pep talk myself and go, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Just bathe the puppy, clean the crate. Not a big deal. So it is a skill that we all have to practice. So my challenge to you, if you're a dog trainer, is if you talk to a client and you find yourself not having the patience to deal with them, think of how that possibly affects your working relationship with the dogs. Is there something that could be improved upon? If you're a dog owner, okay, if you're looking for dog trainers, that's one of the biggest tips right there to look out for as a red flag. Look, I talked to a professional that needs to fix my plumbing. I don't care. They can be shitty. I don't want to work with them. I don't want to talk to them. And chances are I'm not even going to pay them anyway. I'm just going to go to somebody else. But if he was the only plumber in town, and for whatever reason, this is the only guy that can help me today, yes, I'll deal with the shitty attitude. I'm not going to talk to them. I just want to be like, fix my plumbing. That's all I care about. And then, then we're done. But with a dog trainer, this person is in your life for a period of time. Okay, and your dog is going to be in their custody for a period of time. And if you're doing private lessons, that's just as bad, if not worse, because then I'm dealing with this shitty attitude for a period of time. So you have to be careful with that. And I don't care about when people say the dog owner doesn't know certain things and we just have to like drill it to them. We have to like tell them this is how things are. No, there is a very palatable way to do that, and there's a really shitty way to do that. People don't like to be talked down on. If you yourself do not like to be talked down on, you don't like to be talked at. Okay, you don't like people to treat you like shit, just for you to remember a lesson, for you to remember not to do certain things. There's a difference between being firm, I believe in that. There's a difference between telling you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, but telling you what you need to hear. There's a difference between that and then just being condescending. There's a difference between that and insulting you, directly or indirectly. That is just unacceptable. So the whole, dog owners just need to be talked to like that for them to learn, I don't accept it. I don't believe it. I don't think it's true. I don't think it's right. And if you're a rational human being, you don't like to be on that end either. And you know that you don't need to be insulted for you to remember a lesson. You might need to be talked at firmly. Okay? You might need to be spoken to with a level of emphasis that you're not used to. And you might have to be told something you don't want to hear. That's different than somebody insulting you, than somebody treating you like you're not very bright, somebody treating you like you're stupid and making you feel like you're stupid. That is unacceptable, and I don't believe that you need to be talked to like that for you to learn the lesson, for you to know that what you're doing is wrong. I don't buy it, and I know you don't buy it either.